word that honestly jumps out at me. It jumps out to everybody that I know that casually watched this on television, or if you were in the game, or honestly, like talking to Daniil Hunter after the game, I, I feel a lot better about this offense and some of the struggles that they had earlier in camp. They've been focusing on physicality, and it jumped off the screen at you if you watch this game. The offensive line, for 2 straight games now, they've imposed their will at the line of scrimmage. In the run game, even on runs that are for 2 yards, I'm so encouraged by the fact that it's 2 yards after they've pushed the line of scrimmage forward. And maybe it's not perfect blocking, but you can mush forward to where you're not at 2nd and 12. They with the first group out there, they didn't have any negative runs, and that's big. Just being able to get to situations where it's 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4. They couldn't convert that 3rd and 2, but man, it was 3rd and 2 as opposed to 3rd and 12. And Nico Collins could have had a touchdown on that. I'll address that play right now. Look, obviously C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins were not on the same page on that play, but I think even if Nico had been working towards the sideline, the ball was a little too far outside. It wasn't like he was going to be able to turn and run with that. He would have had to high point it potentially. But that's largely been some of the issues I think with CJ is it not inaccuracy per se, but just not quite still being on the same page with everybody, which is something they're going to work through. The physicality it's just so far ahead of where they were last year. The lack of negative run plays, it's so far ahead of where they were last year. What's their ceiling? I don't know, but it's better than it was last year, no matter who the names are on the offensive line. And I know a lot of people are noting no Titus. I think Blake Fisher, from what I could see, had a pretty solid day. And I've speculated without having any information whatsoever that maybe he was dealing with some kind of injury or off-season situation, surgery or something that wasn't reported, that he looked like he had regressed in a way that I didn't expect him to. So maybe something clicked for him, or it just felt better today. I'll go back and watch the all-22 and get a better feel for it. But the offensive line, the starters in the first game and the starters in the second game, even though not all of them were actual starters in the first game, or today, Blake Fisher is probably not going to be the starting right tackle. They haven't allowed a pressure yet when it's been those starting groups out there. Blake almost let up one last week, except Davis got rid of the ball. But by and large, it's been so much cleaner. It's just a cleaner operation. And I tweeted this out today, but the running backs and pass protection, and not just the starters or guys who might be on the active roster. I'm going down to Jawar Jordan and J.J. Taylor and guys like that. To me, that's one of the best indications that Nick Caley knows what he's doing. It's that young running backs usually don't have a clue in pass protection, or they don't care about it. Like, finding young running backs who care about pass protection and know what they're doing, that's evidence of good coaching. That's evidence of somebody who really knows how to teach the scheme. So I feel very positive about that. While we're at that, Woody Marks, I think, man, Woody Marks, I don't care what his height and weight is, man, he brings it. He brings it. He's got cowboy strength, like not Dallas Cowboy strength, but actual cowboy strength. Little wiry dudes knock a fella out because his cattle were grazing on his land. That's what Woody Marks reminds me of. Jawar Jordan as well, and that's keeping in theme with the physicality. Cade Stover had a couple of nice, really good run blocks today. I'll go back and watch him in total, but that was nice to see. Nick Chubb, obviously. Very, very good day for him. I think he ended up averaging about 5 yards. I think he had 5 carries for 25 yards, all of them for positive yardage. And I think that jibed with what I'd seen in practice, which is he's not the same as he used to be, but he has vision and he has strength. And as long as the blocking in front of him is good, he's going to get positive yardage. From here until whenever, can he gain more and gain back some of his previous explosiveness? Then it could be really, really good. But as long as if Joe Mixon or Dameon Pierce is an issue at any given time, like I think Nick Chubb, and maybe until the young guys prove themselves, like let's say Nick Chubb just stays where he is right now, he can grind for you. He can be a positive factor. And I think there's more for him to gain back as he completely recovers from that surgery. The defense, 2 things. Well, one, there was the first Bryce Young interception, which was called back because of penalty on a bogus. Like, Will Anderson is getting blocked by the tight end. So tight end's trying to block you, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the tight end decides to become a receiver, then you're not allowed to play physical with him anymore. Bogus. even though it was accurately called. I object to the way that play is called. I'm going to give Bryce Young a pass on the interception because I think he knew that he had a defensive holding call. He saw it happen right in front of him. I will not give him a pass on the Daniil Hunter tipped ball, and it's not because of any decision that Bryce Young made. It's because Bryce Young is too short, and with that that release point, he got hit in the hand and might have injured his hand. I don't know if they addressed that at all or not. Scuttlebutt on the street is that he might have injured his hand, and I don't know if a guy who is a normal NFL-sized quarterback necessarily runs into that same kind of danger there. We're playing tackle football right now. Also on that play, I see a lot of people saying that Derek Stingley had gotten burned on that. I'm not so sure. We know Derek Stingley has an ability to reel people back in, so I'm not going to relitigate a play from a meaningless preseason game. But I felt good about that. The offensive line and their pass protection. Talked about running back pass protection. The offensive line pass protection is already better than last year, just in terms of communication, understanding exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and functioning as a cohesive unit. And a lot of that really does come down to, there's okay, let's say Laramie Tunsil, and this isn't even a criticism of Laramie Tunsil, it's just the way the whole operation was. Being good at your one-on-ones it's not always as simple as that. There's spacing between you and the offensive guard. There's forming a pocket, like there's working in tandem with the guys next to you. I think probably the most encouraging thing so far, and I'll have to fact check myself on this, but so far in the last 2 preseason games, we haven't seen blitzes, but especially we haven't seen games like TE games or ET games flummox guys who look like, last year they looked like they were high school kids and like freshmen and sophomores in high school that didn't know how to handle games from the defensive line. That's been a lot cleaner so far this year. So it's just the preseason, but I'm optimistic just based on some of the fundamental things being done better this year than they were last year. It's been really good to see. Let's see, not for that longer pass. He wasn't at Derek. I don't know if I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with the comments here. So far so good. I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a video where we go over some highlights from the game a little bit later today. The all 22 for these preseason games comes out ridiculously late, so I might not get that until Monday night or so. But the physicality and being able to build on this physicality is first and foremost the thing that I'm most excited about, because it doesn't matter what scheme you're running, whether your guys across the board are all pro offensive linemen or anything, or your tight ends for that matter. There's a physicality on this team across the board that I think is what D'Amico wants. It's more in D'Amico's vision. And I don't think it's not any accident that D'Amico's been spending a lot more time with the offense this offseason. I think D'Amico and his ability to expect a certain standard out of players is going to be more on offense like it has been on defense for the last couple of years. So I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later. Trying careful. I don't want to get any kids in the screen here accidentally. I don't know how to end this. You're stuck with me forever because I don't know how to